Hello, everybody. Happy Monday, fun day. Hope everybody had a good weekend. So, I kind of taken a little bit of a sabbatical this summer of interviewing a lot of people, only because people were out of town or the timing wasn't right or just energetics weren't aligning. The moon, the stars, and all the universe. But I do have a good lineup coming up in September. So we've got Alabar Jones. He's going to be coming on. First, we're going to do a session on someone together and figure out what's happening. And then we're going to do a show on it a week later about our findings. So we will see what kind of magical wizardry this amazing Aussie has got in him. And let's see what else. Marina Jacoby. I'll have her on. And the list goes on. I just recently did a video with Ileana from Awakening Cosmic Reality show. And so it was a little bit long. I'm going to give it that. It just happened to turn out that way. But there is some information in there that you may find helpful for you. And then Laura Eisenhower and I just did one yesterday or the day before, which got posted out on her channel and is posted out on my channel. And the funny thing about Laura and I is Laura, let's see, how do I put this? Because I don't think I explained it very well in my video. My uncle, my great uncle, owned a farm in Gettysburg and was approached by her great-grandfather and his wife, Mamie. And they bought the farm from my great uncle. And I still have a few older cousins alive that one time told me the story about how wonderful Mamie was and how kind they were when they came to the farm to ask to purchase it. So anyway, we've kind of laughed about, number one, we're from the same town here in Maryland, DC, Virginia. And then, our families have been, stomping over the same postage stamp of soil since before she and I were incarnated into this lifetime. So it's just another proof that we're all just one degree of separation. And in that separation, you find the oneness of all of it. Because we are an extension of everything, So we're coming from Prime Source God, the Creator, right? And then it trickles down into everything. So you've got a piece of God Source Creator in you. I have it in me, the trees, the plants, all the beings. That includes insects, the elementals, the birds, butterflies, the lions, the tigers, the bears, the dolphins, the whales, etc. We are all made up of the same divine energetics. And we're going to step into more and more knowledge about that through my guests that will come on, through work that's coming, messages coming through to me from my divine self, my higher self, my entire guide team. And so hopefully this fall, while there may be some chaos in our little worlds, and our world is our household and what extends out from that, and then what's going on in the demographics of the neighborhoods next to us and the communities and the states and the villages and political and biblical and so on and so forth. There's all kinds of stuff happening all the time. And one of the things that Laura and I talked about was, I have followed astrology, I think 10, 11 years old. And anytime I got a newspaper or a magazine, the first thing I did was go to the horoscopes so I could read them. But I could never tell my family that, because that would be against their religious belief systems. But anywho, another thing Laura and I touched on, and also Ileana and I touched on, is that, we're doing so many things to work on our shadows. And we're doing so many things to work on our physicality through our supplements, through our dietary intake and what we're putting out, right? When we take in dietary intake of any kind, if it doesn't output, we get a little concerned. I mean, that's a medical condition. But we also have to look at what we're putting into our spirit dietary system, our spiritual dietary system. We have to look at that and what we're putting in, what's coming out, what's going in. So it's a give and a receive and a give and a receive. So it has to have that negative feedback loops, which are all within your physical systems. And it has its own cellular system that is combined with this physical body. And the more and more that we can get in touch through meditation and through connection of self, we begin to realize how small this little shell is in comparison to the energetics that expand out, all the bodies of energies that expand out and touch everything. But this is the Bunsen burner. This is the nucleus. So what happens through thought, what happens through feelings, what happens through expressions, all come from inside this physical body and can go outward. So we have the ability to get it all here and then make changes within that. And to trust that we're safe in this lifetime. And persecution and condemning and opinions do not touch us because we don't allow it. It doesn't exist in our world. And we go on to live in this God source self of this physical avatar. This one is named Sandra. Whatever your name is, you're a living, breathing, moving being of source energy. And you have the ability to create and change in a millisecond. You just have to learn to tap into that and work with that growing flow and allow it to expand and share that love with others. And it all starts with what? What do I always say? Stop, meaning you recognize something. You're stopping. You can physically stop if you choose to. Drop. You drop into your physical body. You are aware that you are completely physical and you're very conscious of all of your surroundings. And then you connect with that God source breath that is your lifeline to all things. And you learn to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth and expand the lungs and slow the breath, connecting into the parasympathetic nervous system and allowing the body to go into rest mode, slow mo, versus fight, flight, 10 and 2, gotta do, gotta go, gotta get there, etc. Be aware of your information pathways that you're taking in. And Laura and I touched on that because I gave up the news way back in the 90s. I had no idea that it was affecting me so deeply until my astrologer friend, Dale O'Brien, who's also going to be coming on at some point soon, told me. And so I stopped picking up the newspaper. And I stopped, at the time we had newspapers, I stopped listening to the news. Because see, I was trained by my parents to have something to talk about. And talking about current affairs was important because it showed you were smart and you were in the know. Whereas my original source self just wanted to know how you were doing, what was happening in your immediate world. How can I be of assistance? Can we just laugh and have fun? And take all that seriousness and just douse it with love and not let it enter the four corners of our physical avatar, energetics, etc. And so I see the news feeds sometimes, and I can get a little glimpse of what's going on, and I don't really pay that much attention to it because I'm just constantly dousing it with love so that the highest choices for the highest good of harmony and balance is being done by all. And that even those who are in there that are corrupted can be softened by the amount of love that I am sending them. And that the decisions that are being made biblically, politically, can all be revamped. And each person can stop and get in touch with their heart and decide, I've been appointed by the people. They trust me, and I need to make decisions on their best behalf, not the handshakes and the greasy palms that I get. I need to be more honest with myself and all the people that I represent. And then perhaps the voting system would be different depending on what's happening in which political arena. Now, many of us who are on our spiritual path are most definitely in touch with the do no harm. So the words that we choose, through the thoughts that we bring in, through the feelings that we have, are protected and guarded by our individual self. That what we put out is for all the people that we represent. And if you haven't figured it out by now, we represent each other. And we represent the generations coming. We do. And we owe it to ourselves to stop and clear this madness. And to focus in on what truly, truly matters for ourselves and our children and our children's children. So on and so forth. I didn't know I was going to go down this path when I started this video, because sometimes they just show me stuff and it's just like, I just have to go with it. So if it's coming through me, then it's coming through you, or it needs to come through you because it's got a cord that's in there that also needs to have resolving and dissolving and sent back to the light. Everybody has an opportunity to restart. Every single person. It's called good morning. And good morning means you made it through the night while you slept, and perhaps your soul and your God source consciousness was elsewhere doing work and learning. And you made it back into your body, and you could say, good morning. How can I start today for the highest good of myself and for the highest good of all things? And you know, these steps may require letting go of things that do not serve you. Persons, places, things. You know, when you hear of somebody uprooting and going in a different direction and being happy and excited, don't you just admire their courage? But take stock of everything they had to do to get there, to make that decision and turn the corner in a completely different direction. and know that perhaps all the contracts with all the people and all the things you're doing was up. It was done, but you just keep trying to repeat the same Groundhog Day. And it's not working for you. And if it's not working for you, then it's not working for me, and it's not working for everybody else. And the more people that can break away and maneuver to a different path, you uplift all of those that are on that thread, that cord. Okay, they're saying enough because I'll overdo my limit here on this time frame. I walk and live and breathe what I do. I think before I speak. I tap into how I feel before I allow anything to exude from this physical, energetic body. And if I might be stumped on something, I ask my guides to put it here on a shelf so we can mull it over. But I don't need to walk around like I'm mulling something over, because then that's going to attract energy of what's going on with you, what's happening, are you okay? Or it may irritate people, may trigger. So I asked my guides, okay, could we please put this on a little shelf here? And allow me to do this. Allow me to just, my guides, work with me through this. In the meantime, I need to have conversations. I have my daily responsibilities, and I cannot allow any of that to affect any of the people that I'm interacting with, known and unknown. Because you leave your energy everywhere, like it or not. It can either be beautiful and airy and sparkly and golden and crystalline, or it can be the dark brown stuff because you just splattered your crap everywhere because you don't know how to deal with it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just so you have to become aware of what it is and what habits that you've developed and learned and been programmed to react and respond to. So you can say, you know what? That is not what I want to do today. I want to fill up my vessel and all the energetics around me. And everywhere I go, I just want to brush up against everything with harmony, with love, with bringing the vibration up to a little happier place. And that means I smile with my eyes, smile with my mouth. My walk is different. Because when I'm out of it, I'm 10 and 2. I'm a speed walker. And then some people will look at me and go, get your resting bitch face up because it's way down there. And I'm like, I had no idea. It just take one person to go, you're frowning. What's wrong with you? I'm like, oops. I did not put my stuff here. And I did not expand myself. So I can stop, become aware, drop in, and intentionally bring in that golden life force that keeps all of this healthy, flowing, and in rhythm with all other things within the physicality and the energetics. And if you need any assistance, I've got a website. You can make an appointment. And if you live in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, you can come to my studio. The informations are in my website. Okay, gotta go. Please like, subscribe, share. Please leave me a message. I'm sending you so much love and light to match up with your love and light.